Welcome to BamBam-O-Rama.
BamBam-O-Rama. BamBam-O-Rama.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to BamBam-O-Rama. My name is Adrian Estrada.
My name's Jackson Grist.
Today's a busy day for us here in the studio.
It has been a busy day for us.
We've still got a lot more to do.
We have another podcast to film, and we have a punishment for one of our unscripted game shows to film. I'm excited about that.
I'm not excited about getting my punishment.
I'm not excited about your punishment either.
But those are the rules. Even if you don't like it, and even if you don't get to release that episode, you made the deal.
Right?
I made a deal to go through with a punishment for losing, and I lost fair and square.
So it's going to be on our Patreon?
I don't know. I'm going to look at it. I don't know yet. That's just all I'm going to say. Because I had that damn patch of hair, and if for some reason the camera doesn't pick it up, which I don't think is going to be the case, I also forgot to do there's a lot of nastiness going on with the hair. It's not just about I don't want to look stupid. There's a branding thing.
Yeah.
It's an issue about making sure that we don't just come across to people because we don't care.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because people notice that. People notice if you don't have a clean shirt on, and stuff like that, even if you don't think they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah, people notice that kind of stuff.
Especially with a 4K fucking camera. So that's why I have to be, I don't know.
What if we just take it down to standard def?
You still see it?
No.
Oh, no. That's fine. No, because we care, the mantra is to get better with every video, not to step back.
Yeah. Football starts tomorrow.
I'm excited about football.
I'm really excited about football this year. But that's how it always goes for Cowboys fans, right?
I suppose so, yes. At least until halfway.
The defensive roster we have looks amazing. The offensive roster we have has amazing pieces. I never know what to think, though. I mean, Dak was so good last regular season until the playoffs.
With the whole CeeDee Lamb thing.
CeeDee Lamb is on a holdout right now, right? Like, he hasn't shown up to...
I think it's like an unofficial holdout, yeah.
Has he? Is he at... No, they're past OTAs. They're at training camp. Has he shown up to training camp?
I don't think so. But I don't think he's come out and said it either. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I'm honestly ignoring it as much as possible because I'm annoyed with the whole thing about it. I forgot who it was. It's one of the commentators that's out there. But they were talking about some people just want to be relevant right now instead of remembered for eternity and stuff like that.
Right.
There's a philosophy behind that. There's mantra behind that. And it's not a matter of who's right and wrong. It's just
Right.
I don't jive with that.
Right.
I don't jive with holding out on your team in a team sport that you knew this was a team sport.
You're hurting your team in that situation. You're right. And for the record, I just Googled it. CeeDee Lamb is currently holding out from training camp right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't agree with that either. I mean, I remember back when Lev Bell did it in Pittsburgh, and he was, people really thought he was going to be the best running back that season. I got first-round pick in one of my, no, not just a first-round pick. I had the number 1 overall pick in one of my fantasy leagues when Lev Bell did his holdout. He did a full season holdout, by the way. And I was like, I don't know what to do with this pick. I had 3 or 4 people chirping in my ear. They were like, it's Lev Bell. You take Lev Bell. He's the best player in football right now. You have to take Lev Bell. And I was like, well, shit, okay, I did. And then he didn't play football that season.
Yeah.
So not only did he hurt his team, he hurt my fantasy team.
And so now I'm outraged.
Now I'm real mad. No, but then he comes back. I can't remember. I think they ended up trading him, or maybe they just let his contract expire and he took a contract somewhere else. And he sucked the next year.
Yeah, he didn't do so great coming back.
No,
I'm not sure if it was the rest and no activity or just the lack of spirit or just bad chemistry with team. Who knows? But
could have
there's
been
a lot
any
of
of those
factors.
things. Yeah, I mean, we've seen a million times, especially with Bill Belichick, take people we thought were done, players that we thought were trash, and he turns them into superstars.
Sure. Yeah.
So I mean, there's chemistry, there's coaching, there's different elements. So I don't know why Lev Bell didn't do good after he came back, but he didn't.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah,
it's a tragedy. But okay, to not be on a lull about it or a somber note, but also not to be a Cowboys fan about it.
Right.
What is at least some of the positive, right? So let's go back to it. Dak did look pretty good. He's rated highly, but as we all know, everything's fine to look good on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But you can look like one of the best quarterbacks in NFL history
Dak
and
Prescott.
still be Tony Romo.
Dak Prescott and Tony Romo.
Is that a good joke?
Kirk. Yeah, that is funny though. Kirk Cousins. Like all three of these people are like amazing on paper.
Yeah. Kirk
Quarterbacks.
Cousins is a great example.
I mean, you look at their regular season stats for their whole career, and you go, that surely that guy's won some Super Bowls. I'm looking at like part of Tom Brady's career, right? Like, and you're not.
But here's my thing, okay? Now, of course, there's going to be plenty of people like, this is stupid. I'm not saying let's try this tomorrow. I'm saying it is fun to think about what if somehow we see what I would have hoped for when we first saw Dak Prescott, which is a quarterback exchange or change out for the rest of the season. Mm-hmm. I'm not saying halfway. I'm saying we have a regular season quarterback and we got the gunslinger.
I mean, that might be what the Cowboys need to do, because apparently Dak can play regular season football.
Well, that's what I'm saying. And if you don't understand what I'm saying, is Dak's first season when he got to take over for an injured Romo, I think we should have put Romo back in. I don't care. And I think Romo probably would have agreed. I don't care if he gets hurt immediately again. You take the risk of putting the better, arguably at the time, and I still think arguably overall, I really liked Tony Romo. But I'm just saying you should have put him back in.
It's a hard choice to make when you're in that situation. What you're looking at, like Dak was the hot hand. That's the issue. And like hot hand, that comes from poker, right? So you can be riding.
Yeah, all of these expressions are all gambling terms.
And like how often I know from like my own experience, I've played terrible poker to win poker. I remember one time I was sitting at a poker table and I got nothing but like king deuce and king eight and king eight. King, like a great face card matched with a low end number card, and I'm like, I can't play this. I folded it a dozen times. I folded 2 pair. I folded what's it called? 3 and 2. Full house. I folded 3 full houses. I don't know how many times that night. And I was like, okay, I guess I'm just going to play terrible poker because every time I had a good hand, it wouldn't hit. And so I did that, and someone at the table got mad at me. But I mean, that's kind of the thing. Like, I don't know if this analogy works, but like, yeah, Dak his rookie season was the hot hand until he wasn't. Right?
It's still a gamble as much as you want to rationalize it.
No, yeah.
As much as you want to say you got to stick with the hot hand, that's the gamble.
Mm-hmm.
The not gamble, which should have been the more reasonable decision, the hard decision is keeping Dak. The hard decision should have been keeping Dak, because your gamble is the hot hand. I'm going to ride this. Man, they're doing so good, it's going to keep going. Right? They say that the smart gambler is the one who walks away from the table.
Right.
And that's what you're supposed to do.
There's also I'm going to throw out a stat out there that exists and is true, but in my opinion, it doesn't mean anything. So this backs up your point, though. There's never been a rookie quarterback that's won the Super Bowl. And that's one thing I started thinking about when we were going from the regular season to the playoff with Dak in his rookie season. I was like, maybe now is when we really should consider switching, because there's something that's never been done. Be cool if it works, but a rookie quarterback's never won the Super Bowl in the starting position. There's obviously been rookie backups and things like that. That's a different story. But like, no starting rookie quarterback I don't think even played in the Super Bowl. Like I said, it's one of those stats that exist that doesn't matter, but it exists.
I'm trying to just keep my opinion about like going. I'm trying not to go off on my like what if, because I like doing those. I think I would just have to keep going back to reiterating my statement is that I think people like Jerry Jones gamble too much.
I can see that.
Right? Where it's the CeeDee Lamb thing. You're gambling with fire, quote unquote, or so to speak, whatever you want to say about it. That this guy is even going to stick around if you do give him money now.
No, that's the thing. Yeah, that's what
the whole concept of what you're doing. You're gambling with not making a public decision about your quarterback who's not quite sealing the deal. That's gambling by not being a man up front about it and saying, well, he's still got time to prove himself. No, like you got to shit or get off the pot.
It's a lot of how I feel about it. I'm like,
Fuck you, Jerry Jones. Sorry.
And at this point in time, we still haven't. We're football doesn't officially start tomorrow. It's first preseason game tomorrow, which we will have already
It's not
watched.
the Cowboys. It's Texans versus who was it?
I forgot.
I forgot too.
Oh, there's still time. There's still time for Jerry Jones to, pony up on that prediction I made, which I don't know if I made it publicly. So here it is, folks. Jerry Jones has said he's not going to renew Dak Prescott's contract. He's letting it fizzle out. Maybe if he wins a Super Bowl, he'll get a new one. I think we're 2 weeks away from an announcement of Dak Prescott's new contract as a Dallas Cowboy quarterback being extended another 4 years and being higher paid than, who just got it? Jordan Love just got highest paying quarterback. Also, he's only won one playoff game. I don't understand why. He's only played one full season, and he's already the highest paid quarterback. I don't understand.
I feel like I feel like the world rewards people for the wrong reasons,
right?
And I'm not going to say what it specifically I really want to complain about, and exactly what I really just want to rip into. I'll backtrack to this because I've said it before. Ultimately, I think he's doing it on purpose.
100%.
The Cowboys is nothing but the soap opera of the NFL, but it's also why I don't watch sports as much as some of other people. Like, I like football. Obviously, I'm, getting real passionate about the conversation. But ultimately, it is just this soap opera that is sensationalized, and none of it is really real. It's not scripted fake, but it's also, again, it's sensationalized.
Yeah.
So I don't give a fuck as much anymore about a lot of that stuff. So fuck you, Jerry Jones, again. I'm just
Well, no, I think we've said it before. I think Jerry Jones keeps his team relevant enough to stay in the Super Bowl conversation.
Yeah.
But, he doesn't need to win. That's enough to make...
He makes more money this way.
I think Jerry Jones also, he is a little smart, right? He's really smart. he knows he can't he can't be the next Patriots, where they're in 50% of the Super Bowls for 20 years, which is an incredible feat. And if you're a Tom Brady and Belichick hater, you're really missing the point. I've heard a lot of people say that the Super Bowl is the hardest championship to get to. It's the hardest, not just the hardest one to win, it's the hardest one to get to. So there was a team that got to do it 10 out of 20 years. It's amazing. Jerry Jones realized, I don't need to build a franchise that does that. I just need to build a franchise that looks like it will. And people are going to buy the jerseys.
Yeah. Just always keep that ass on the fishing pole with the carrot,
Right? Yeah.
Just a bunch of donkeys out here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I was going at when I say, what do you do though? When you are a fan of these things, where you've got nothing else. Okay, XFL. Yes, it's good in its own ways, right?
Right.
But it's not the top athletes, supposedly. That's what it's annoying about it is when it's all said and done, we have a system that pumps out legitimately millions of dollars based off of our schools. And we all sit here going, damn it, Jerry Jones, the Cowboys. And reality is, this is a lot bigger of a smack in the face to our tax dollars, because a lot of times you're paying for shit if you don't realize it. It's maybe not in Texas, but in the other states, they're always talking about, they're trying to get us to pay for this stadium because of this, and that. Whether it's shit like that, whether it's them, keeping us on the hook over bullshit.
Yeah.
Or it's just simply the players outright being disrespectful to the culture of the game.
Oh God.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about the Ricky Williams getting, popped for weed stuff. I'm talking about a Manziel, right? Who's going out of his way partying too much, and then we're still paying these motherfuckers this much.
Right.
Even though he obviously was, kicked to the curb because of his shenanigans.
He actually, man, I remember reading up on his story. It was one of the funniest things I thought I saw. He won the, what's it called? He won the starting job in Cleveland. Johnny Manziel did. And then he went home and partied so hard on their week off. Partied so hard and put it all over his social media that when he came back, they were like, dude, No.
Yeah.
You're now second string again. Why didn't you study? Like,
Yeah. I mean, there sometimes it does happen, but there's still the whole aspect of so many times there's a blind eye turned because they're so good, you know?
Mhm.
If cancel culture should exist and we should have a say in it, it should be the thing that it will, for us, especially from being from Texas, West Texas of all Texas, where it has controlled and dictated parts of our lives,
Yeah.
you know, and the way we think, you know, like if you don't play football, you're blah, 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 you know.
Oh, God, yeah. All those.
If everyone's so dedicated to it, why isn't there more of an uproar? Why isn't there a different league now that is existing based solely on the thought process? And I'm not talking about my thought process. Just think about it. Why are we still paying them? If everyone thinks we could fire everybody for all this and that, and I'm not talking about cancel culture, I'm talking about the other side. Why isn't there more of a hiccup going on about it right now?
I don't know.
You know?
I don't know.
It's not a protest or that. It's why are you going to keep doing that to ourselves? Because it's not slowing down. It's getting bigger, especially fantasy football. I heard another, I don't remember. I think this was like a retired coach. He was like, nerds ruin football.
What?
Nerds ruin football with fantasy football. Because now it's not about the game anymore. It's about that you just hear them complaining about, you know, this, and that's not what I'm really What are you doing?
I thought there was another bottle of water around me. I can't find it.
No. You okay?
No, I'm thirsty.
Me too.
We're
We're almost done.
No.
But what I'm getting at is that they picked up more people.
Mm-hmm.
It's not slowing down. With cable, you know, not death, but the changes to cable and what people are considering cable now, even though it's the same thing. You're paying for the same thing. You're paying more, actually. Anyway, right now should be the time where we have, like, not XFL necessarily thriving, but maybe even a new sport coming around. Because NFL is just... And I know people say baseball is America's game and that, but there's only a certain group of people that I know that watch baseball.
I cannot watch baseball on TV. And I won't lie. I went to a Texas Rangers game 3 years ago, and I slept through a couple of innings. So
I mean, I'm not saying
baseball's
that
not my
it's not
thing.
popular because I don't watch it, but I just don't see that fulfilling anytime soon.
No, I
Football
think...
does. Nor basketball.
I mean, I know. Yeah, they say that baseball is America's pastime, and I guess that's because it's one of the two sports that were invented in this country. Is that right? We invented football, or American football.
Which is rugby mixed with, like,
Yeah, it's
some
got a
shoddy
lot of
rules.
mixture stuff.
And baseball is just cricket mixed with some shoddy rules.
That's true.
They're both versions of those games. Like if someone played those kind of, or watched someone play them, and then was like, "Hey, check out this game. I know for a fact." And they were like, "And then this happens."
Mm-hmm.
Well, what happens when they get knocked out?
But like, I mean, I think for one, I think baseball is not fast paced enough. I actually do enjoy watching softball. I've finally had a softball coach explain it to me. I was like, why do I like softball more than I like baseball? And I was like, I have so many friends that always tell me it's because you want to stare at the girls, and I'm like, no, it's not. I'm just more entertained by this. And she was like, it's a smaller field, everything's on a faster pace. This and that explains it. And I was like, oh yeah, I watch a game of softball in an hour and a half, whereas baseball is going to take, I don't know, a day. It's ridiculous. Like it's, I know they've changed some rules with baseball. You can't, the pitchers can't stand there for 10 minutes before they throw the next pitch. Now there's like a time limit. But yeah, like it was getting bad for a while. But I think the biggest problem with baseball, in my opinion, is, and I've probably said this on the podcast, and if I have, I'm sorry, but it's also the same problem that basketball and hockey have, and that's that they play too many games. To me, football is the most exciting sport because there's how many regular season games are there now? 17?
Well, 16. Well,
it's an odd number. It used to be
17.
16.
So it's got to be 15 then, right? No, it's 17.
God dang it.
It's 17.
We're going to get ripped up in the comments on that one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care.
It's fine. I just know it's an odd number now. But either way, it's a small enough number that you could only argue that one or two games don't matter. When when there's so many games in a season that LeBron James, and I'm not trying to start the argument about LeBron James versus Michael Jordan, but during LeBron's time, he was the best basketball player. When he could sit 20 games,
Yeah.
because 20 games don't matter. 20 games don't matter. You're playing too many games.
Yeah, I agree with that, but I do think that we need 2 more months of football.
Oh, yeah. I can do
So
it.
while I can see where you're coming from, I still think there needs to be like 5, 6 more games, whatever, 5 more games.
I think that would. I mean, yeah, that might add a couple. But I mean, it's such a competitive game because of the small amount of games. I think a 20 game season would be pretty lit.
Yeah, the back end should be ending in March.
If you do add that, you also gotta, in my opinion, for player safety, instead of 1 bye week, you got to give each team 2 bye weeks.
I think that's all by choice, man. Like, you can't force people to have, those kinds of relationships.
No, it's not choice. It's you're born that way.
Well,
You're born
being born in
In
having
bye
those
weeks.
things is true, but to participate in that would be by choice.
Oh yeah, that's true. But I think that's the only thing that's fair. Like, I mean, if you're gonna extend it that much, give the teams two weeks off instead of 1. I'm thinking about player longevity.
Yeah, I mean, that's also part of it. It is 300-pound dudes running at each other.
And I mean, that's the reason I hate Thursday night football. It's a bad product for many reasons. These teams only have like 2 days to prepare because they just played Sunday night. Or Sunday. Now they got to get ready for a game on Thursday. Their body's not rested. Their mind's not rested. They're not going to play well. They can hurt themselves. And then I have to watch it because I'm going to watch it. I'm going to be honest. Get rid of Thursday night football, NFL. I know we said that during Dad's episode. I don't remember. Did that make the cut?
Well, I mean, part of that to me is also I hate weekend culture that we have in America. I don't know if that's everywhere because I don't live everywhere. But the fact that, like, we only have off days on Saturdays, Sundays for everybody, like, for the greater point, obviously there's exceptions.
I understand what you mean, yes.
Yeah, I think that we should have more opportunities for everything to happen throughout the weeks.
No, I agree. No, it makes zero
Not
sense
just
to me.
sports.
Yeah, it makes zero sense to me that, like, the work week for the country, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, and like almost everyone does this. I understand the restaurants and some things have a little bit shifted around, but if I work at a bank, that means I got to take time off to go to see the doctor. Why can't the banking days be Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday? And then Wednesday, bankers can go do the things they need to do at the businesses that are going to be open.
We're just not everybody do the same hours. Why aren't
That too,
businesses
yeah.
more competitive with their hours? Why are we always dealing with the same hours for each business? Because everyone caters to that.
Right.
Well, to me, it feels like, well, I'll shut up because this is going to go too long. Yeah, we need to wrap it up.
Okay.
But I think that's my final thought. Why aren't you more competitive with your hours? What the fuck? How are you guys telling me that you thought outside the box if you didn't think, wait, everybody goes 8 to 5? That makes sense for who? Not everybody, especially in an e-commerce world and the internet in general. But I guess that's the end of it.
I guess so. Okay.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all. Love y'all.
ya.